Hello, we are here to provide a brief update regarding the facility planning work that has been going on in the Stoughton Area School District. SASD has done a good job keeping our facilities well maintained for many years with minimal capital referendum support. In 2010, the district accessed interest-free bonds available through the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act after passing a small $7.25 million referendum to address a number of maintenance needs. By accessing interest-free bonds and restructuring existing debt, this borrowing did not result in an increase in debt tax levy. In 2003, a referendum was passed to build a pool at our high school. Prior to that, the last major referendum was in 1996 when River Bluff and Sand Hill were built. Basically, in the last 25 years, the district has managed the majority of maintenance needs through existing budgets and funding sources. During that same period of time, teaching and learning has evolved and student needs are more complex. The evolution of technology and the need for schools to evolve has pushed on facilities to better accommodate modern learning. In 2023, SASD will fully pay off all existing debt, providing an opportunity to explore new debt to address these needs. The district annually updates its 10-year maintenance plan. We have identified approximately $16.5 million in high priority needs. We are not able to address all of these critical needs within our existing budget. The district has partnered with EUA, an architectural firm that works with many school districts, to complete a comprehensive facilities assessment study in 2018. That information, combined with our 10-year facility maintenance plan and discussions with internal stakeholders, provided us with data needed to identify other needs. Some of those needs include building system updates, additional learning spaces and updated environments, and major renovations or removal of existing buildings like the community gym in Yahara. We will spend the next couple of minutes highlighting high-level needs at all of our existing buildings. Our high school was originally built in the 1960s. The food service area is very small and the kitchen prep area is original to the building. Many of our classroom sizes are much smaller than recommended, and there aren't spaces designed in a way to accommodate group work and collaborative learning. A variety of updates are needed to maintain and improve the building overall. River Bluff was built in the mid-1990s and is located behind the administration building, community gym, and maintenance shop. Parking is limited and students use the community gym daily for physical education classes and extracurricular activities because the gym space in River Bluff is not sufficient for their needs. The building was constructed without air conditioning, and that is being installed this summer. There are a number of updates and mechanical repairs that will need to be addressed given the building is approximately 25 years old. Sand Hill was built at the same time as River Bluff and has an almost identical footprint. The campus is larger with options for expansion if needed. Like River Bluff, there are some updates and repairs that are needed, and air conditioning is being installed this summer. Like our other schools, Fox Prairie has a number of mechanical and maintenance needs identified. One of the biggest operational challenges that impacts teaching and learning is the combination of our gym and cafeteria space. Using the cafeteria for physical education classes significantly impacts schedules and programming at this building. Separating these two spaces will create flexibility and better learning opportunities for students. Adding kitchen and cafeteria space is significantly more expensive than adding additional gym space, so the addition of a gym has been discussed as the most reasonable option to address this concern. Kegonsa is our oldest active building and is in need of the most significant work. In addition to extensive mechanical system, flooring, lighting, and window replacements, the interior is very dated and in need of a full-scale remodel. Like Fox Prairie, Kegonsa's physical education classes are held in a shared gym cafeteria space, and it creates the same instructional challenges. Realistically, due to the age of the building, even major renovation work will leave items in this building that can't be improved. The district has done a lot of internal planning and gathering of feedback. As we move through the summer months and into the fall, we will expand that education and feedback loop to our community. We are working on multiple ways to provide information and a community engagement survey that is targeted to be sent out this fall. The goal is to provide the maximum amount of information to the board to determine if a referendum question in April of 2022 makes sense to address facility needs. We have created a guiding principles document to ground us in our work. This bulleted list summarizes the full document that is available on our website. Anytime we ask questions around potential options and scenarios, we use these principles to help us determine the best possible course of action. In order to create a number of scenarios to address the needs identified in our planning process, we worked with J.P. Cullen to obtain cost estimates. These estimates include inflation and contingencies and are not based on any type of bid process. Scenario 1 looks at how much money we could borrow when our existing debt is paid off to maintain a consistent tax levy. To maintain a levy consistent with the amount we are currently taxing for debt, we could borrow $18.9 million. When looking at the critical infrastructure needs we identified, we would use $8.6 million of those funds for flooring, windows, HVAC improvements, renovation of the high school kitchen and cafeteria, removing Yahara and keeping the newer gym addition, and replacing asphalt. In this scenario, we would still have $10.3 million to address items that we identified as high priority considerations. In this list, we include a separate gym for Fox Prairie and Keganza, renovating the community gym, and doing a major renovation at Keganza. The sum of these projects exceeds $10.3 million, so we would need to prioritize which of these projects would be addressed. Scenario 2 looks at a way we could address all the critical infrastructure needs we discussed in the first scenario and the additional educational improvements that we identified through our facility assessment study and internal planning work. After completing the first proposed scenario, we asked ourselves a series of questions. 1. How do we address the items identified in the facilities assessment that we can accommodate without an increase in levy? We determined that it would be impossible to address all of the identified needs within our existing budget without additional support. 2. Does investing almost $8 million at the community gym align with our guiding principles? This is a lot of money to invest in an old building that has been used to support our middle school's educational programming needs. In fact, the cost to renovate this gym is almost the same as the cost of adding a new gym. It is not preferable to have students going back and forth between the two buildings, but River Bluff does not have enough space to build an additional gym. 3. How will this cost impact our taxes? After thinking through the needs identified and the questions we asked, we created Scenario 2. This scenario would convert Sand Hill to a middle school campus, which would require the addition of a gym and remodel of existing space. River Bluff would be converted to an elementary campus, and the community gym would be eliminated. We would also remove the maintenance shop and build a new facility at the Yahara property. These changes would open up the River Bluff campus, making the building visible and open to the community. It would provide opportunities to improve parking and add a playground space that would support this building as an elementary school. In this scenario, we would also do some significant renovations at Keganza and add additional gym spaces at Keganza and Fox Prairie. Scenario 3 looks at a way we could address all of the critical infrastructure needs, additional educational improvements, as well as better long-term sustainability and flexibility. There were two main questions that led us to Scenario 3. 1. Does remodeling and adding a new gym at Keganza make sense financially and align with planning for future flexibility? And 2. What is the difference in cost between this major renovation and building a new school? Scenario 3 ultimately includes all of the items in Scenario 2, but removes any costs associated with improving Keganza and replaces them with a new school. After analyzing the costs associated with the major improvements needed at Keganza, the total cost was in excess of 50% of the cost of a new building. Investing that much into our oldest facility did not align with a number of our guiding principles. Scenario 4 was the latest addition in our planning process that was created after we received feedback and questions from our staff, as well as our board committee members. This scenario would address critical infrastructure, educational improvements, and would downsize our facilities. The one major question that surfaced multiple times after evaluating our first three scenarios was, can we close another school? Our district has been declining in enrollment since 2002 and is projected to continue to do so. With that reality, can we serve our existing student population without Keganza? Realistically, housing our existing elementary age population in River Bluff and Fox Prairie is possible if we add classroom space onto Fox Prairie. Scenario 4 removes Keganza and builds onto Fox Prairie to increase capacity to approximately 650 students. The estimated cost of this scenario slightly exceeds Scenario 2, the one that remodels Kegonsa, and is less than Scenario 3, which involves building a new school. It does not take into consideration the ongoing annual operational savings that would occur by using one less school building. So how do the costs compare and what might they look like from a taxpayer standpoint? Our district has two major components to its tax levy, its operational levy and its debt levy. The debt levy is for any referendum approved debt. This year, that portion of our mill rate was 57 cents. If we do nothing, that portion of the levy will drop after 2023. Scenario 1 maintains a consistent levy so a taxpayer won't see a difference in the portion of their property tax bill. The other three scenarios show the increase that a taxpayer will experience compared to their current payment. Scenario 4 is listed before Scenario 3 because it is less expensive. Should we wait to pursue these improvements? With debt dropping off and interest rates being very low right now, we believe it is a responsible time to ask our community if facility improvements are something we should consider. If so, which of these scenarios will set us up best for the future? Thank you for your time. If you are interested in obtaining additional information, please visit our website. Stay tuned for additional information coming your way over the next few months.